Just a moment. I'm sorry. Audible? Okay. Visible? Okay, so since this is our first class, I'll be letting you know about the basics. Okay, so let's talk about the syllabus today. As I told you, in our syllabus we have 4 modules, and we are starting with the first module. First module is pure theory. There is no practical in it. It is pure theory. So today I'll be starting with the basics of this particular area. Okay, so let's quickly move on and learn about the basics there. Acha, what do you mean by the term management, everyone? You must have heard about the term management. And actually, before I proceed further, my name is Niharika Valia Bhatnagar, and I am with you with the area of ABFM. So I'll be covering the entire subject with you. We'll be covering the 4 modules of ABFM. That includes first is management, B and C is purely they're more practical based, while D is going to be theory based, and the theory has been a part of the financial area altogether. So that means we'll be learning the financial terminologies, and then we will be proceeding with module D so that we can gain that particular knowledge easily, right? Manage the things to get things done, right? Basically, when we talk about management in the basics, that is what they have given in CBSE books. Even they said is getting the things done through others effectively and efficiently. It's a process of getting the work done through others effectively and efficiently. That is the particular term. So now there's one more definition. When we talk about management means managing. Men, this T stands for tactfully. Do you really think anybody would be interested in working? Everybody wants money, but very less people are interested in working. They'll be like, I hope I have to work less and I gain more. Everybody thinks of it. So in this case, you will have to convince the other person that, array, we can work together. What we can do is, you do the work, I'll give you money. If you feel demotivated, I will motivate you. Whatever way you look forward to. You look forward to it professionally, be it. You look forward to it personally, be it. Everything can be taken care of. So managing men, sorry, tactfully is all about that, right? Okay. So here comes the definition. How do you define the term management? Management could be defined in variety of ways. It could be referring to the persons running an organization who are responsible for decision making. So in the actual, it is basically the activity or job of being in charge of the company, organization, team of employees. But let's talk about the most popular definition that even I learned in my beginning of this particular area altogether. We learned that it's a process of getting the work done through others. Number one, it's a process. Number two, it is getting the work done through others. So that is because you cannot work alone now. If you build up an entire company, you cannot work alone. Okay, now what is the difference between effective and efficient, everyone? These are very, very basic English words, but there's a difference between the two. Yeah, I just kept the particular camera off for a moment, sir. The screen is not visible. Is the PPT visible clearly? Sir, in case of any audio or video issues, the best thing is that you re-log in. If it happens that with multiple people, that means it is from my end. Then I will take care of it. In case one or two people are having a problem, maybe that is from because of any internet issues from your side. So in case whenever such thing happens, please re-log in at that point of time. Now, coming back to the area, getting the work done through others effectively and efficiently, right? So how do we define this area? How do we define the term effective? How do we define the term efficient? Any clues, everyone? Controlling properly, effective to get the desired results. Okay, let me give you a few basic ways of learning it. Directing is one of the functions of management, sir. When we talk about the word effective, this T is for timely completion of targets. It relates to timely completion of targets. And the second one is efficient. Efficient is related to being efficient, related to output, correct, sir? But what is efficient there? Optimum use of given HR. Okay. Only HR, sir? Your answer correct. You have been correct regarding effective, and even efficient is also correct. Quality of output. Okay, let me give it. Yes, sir. It is all related to everything. Now this C. Can you see there's a C inside efficient? It makes it cost reduction, cost control. That means optimum utilization of whatever we are having and reducing our cost to the maximum. That is how we define efficient and effective. Okay, everyone. Once we start now, in actual, once we continue further, there's one problem that I would like to discuss with you. In this particular entire ABFM, in the entire ABFM, there are so many models, theories. So in that case, you will not be able to remember all those models and theories practically if I talk about it. Right? This particular syllabus has just come last semester, last particular attempt only. So I think I might have gone through the book maybe 4 to 5 times within that particular attempt only. Then you keep on looking at it. Even at this point of time, I would say there are so many models because if I would have been a layman, if I would have done them earlier in my studying and then teaching portion, then it would have been very difficult for me to learn all those models at this point of time together. Our book is above 600 pages. So I would really suggest you that if you are learning all these things, please make sure that whenever you are going through all these topics, you are going through this in such a way that you are noting down the quick notes of all these things. Quick notes means note down everything in a one liner, two liner. You don't have to spend a lot of time. Just give yourself hardly 10 minutes, 15 minutes. While even learning all these things, whenever you get time, just scribble a little. So that by the time the examination is there, right? No doubt our examination is not, I think, clashing or having another back to back examination. That's a plus point of our exam. But the point is, you are also working. Do you really think just before the last day you can go through all the syllabus? I've seen so many bankers saying that, ma'am, we will take an off just before the examination and then we will give the exam. But even on the last day, I saw so many bankers were in the office and they said we cannot attend the class during the day because we could not take an off. So practically, the point is, will you be able to go through the entire whatever number of classes we'll be going through at the last like at that last moment just before the examination? Probably no, because you cannot go through all that. So practically, why are you not making quick notes then? Making quick notes would really help you. Number one, you will get a PDF after the completion of the class. I hope you know that once you open that particular video area, na, with the video itself, there's a particular thing called practice book. Click on it and you will be able to download the PDF. But the PDFs are available only in the website area only. That means if you are using the app, then it is available in the app itself. Okay, so technically you will get those PDFs, but with those PDFs, if you add up a little of your quick notes, the ways of learning things that I've been telling you, this will really help you on that last day. Because if you do not think what you're going to do the last day today, you will not be able to do anything on that day. Because of the pressure that you will be going through, you have your exams going on back to back. There are so many subjects in CAIIB. The syllabus is vast, and there would be back to back classes of so many subjects that you will be attending at that point of time. So I would suggest you, when you're going through it, please make sure that when you are dealing with these things, you are dealing with it in such a way that what you are doing is for the last day, not for today. That practical planning will always help. If you do not think about what you're going to do on the last day, you cannot plan the day of your examination at all. Because once you're done with your quick notes, you will be going through PDFs just before the examination. These two things would be enough to prepare even in the last half day. You just open the PDF, look at it, read it up, and then go through the quick notes. You will be also having our ebooks. So once you can go through these things, you will be also going through our ebooks as well, right? So any of those things that we'll be adding up, plus the PDFs are there, plus the mock tests are there, plus I'll be conducting marathons and mini marathons. I hope you have seen already. I've already started with my classes there. So all those things would be available for you, right? So all these things can be helpful only and only if you are making sure that you are clear about what you're going to do on the last day. Prepare your notes accordingly. Only then you will be able to finish the syllabus on the last day, because there are 610 pages, and I think the first module has got 7 chapters, second module 6, third module 6, next module 7. I think these are around 25 chapters that you will be having. So then technically, why to take that particular stress on the last day? What should I do? Why to re-strategize just before the examination? While you can prepare the strategy right away and the last day is not going to be a problem. So my suggestion and the request would be that start noting down, keep a particular pen and paper, keep loose sheets, keep a particular notebook for our classes there, but make quick notes. Especially when we'll be dealing with the numerical portion, people feel like, why to note down? If I can't note down, I'll note it down later. That later somehow never comes. It happens with everyone. It's not only you, it's with me as well. We all are working. You ask me to study at this point of time, I know how much hell I'll be going through. But during work, I have my family life as well. I have to go there and there and there and as well. So there are so many responsibilities. Plus now I sit down and write. But that sitting down and writing will save a lot of time and revision with you. So it's always better while going through the class only you do this, so that you save your time, right? Done, everyone? अगर वो Okay, audible now? Just keeping the camera off. Is it visible clearly now? This is the management process. But then when the management started now, the first thing that came was planning. What do you mean by the term planning? This is the management process altogether. It starts from here. First of all, you plan something. Then, after planning, you try to find out the ways of doing it. Then you get people to do it. Sometimes we can do it, sometimes we need people to do it. Then comes the area of staffing. Then the next part is directing. That is, you tell people. And this is one of the things that has been stated here, but it is not a part of your IIBF book even. And the coordinating is basically something which used to be there at the time of evolution. Right now, it's only controlling. But this is an important element as well. The screen is not visible. Everybody else, is the screen visible? The video, I have switched off my specific camera video, but is the PPT visible? Acha, wait, let me just shift it somewhere else. PPT not visible. Okay, so this is from my end maybe. Many of you. Now, okay? That might be because of some internet issues from your side. If multiple people would be having it, just let me know. I'll relog it. Okay? Now, look at this, everyone. Management process starts from planning. What do you mean by planning, everyone? There's a particular bulb, we sit down, we note down. Just before this class, even I would be looking forward to all these things. What I'll do normally is whenever I have a class, I look at the particular resources that I have, and if there's any need, since this batch is going on from now, I think this is the fourth, fifth batch that I'll be taking up in this area. Na? So then in the ABFM area, we are taking up, this is, we are done with one particular batch. Now this is the second time that we are conducting this examination. This was in May first time, and then this is the second time. So by the time I'm doing it, you have your resources ready. But then even you plan your classes. We tell them that, we'll be having our classes at this point of time, then this, then this, then this. We're looking forward to all that clarity. That maybe I will take a little time to finish off my syllabus. Maybe this is the particular time that I need. This is where I would need an extra class. What am I doing? I'm just planning in my head. Have I told anybody yet? Maybe I'll be telling my seniors there, this is my entire outlook. This is what I want to deal with all the bankers with, so that I can provide them with the maximum information, right? Now that's called planning. Planning is nothing but looking into the, basically, it is a futuristic vision. Planning is a futuristic vision where you look forward towards where you are and where you want to be. It's like a bridge. Today I am here. I am just starting with your batch. So I'll be thinking a lot of things. What will I do with this particular session? What time it should be? How much time do I need? And then how do I work upon this particular class? So many questions. That is what I'm doing is planning. The day I'm done with the planning, I'll start asking my people there. Yeah, Chuck, there are certain notes that I've seen somewhere. Adda, because there are so many content writers as well, they are putting up so many questions. So I might ask them that, Acha, I need a few questions. They'll say, okay, ma'am, we can provide you this much number of questions. So you can look forward to it. That is where, from planning in my head and planning with my seniors, planning with my peer group, then I am trying to arrange the resources under. If I talk about an organization, what do they do in terms of organizing? They will prepare the entire structure. Once I'm done, this is a rough information, then what I'll do is organize. I will keep all the data together. I look forward to my MCQs. I look forward to my class. I'll say that, Acha, this is the time we should keep our class, and then various people would be coordinated and my classes would be arranged accordingly. Now the problem is organizing. Organizing is basically arrangement of resources, putting up authority. They are not putting persons, everyone. We are just keeping the chairs and telling this is where the senior will sit, this is where the junior will sit. But the point is, now you need to find that senior and the junior who will work for you. So that is what we call it as staff. First thing is planning, second thing is organizing, third thing is staffing. Planning is to look into the future. Organizing is arrangement for the future. Then you put people to work. But the point is, can I work with all the staff without telling them what to do and what not to do? Even while starting the particular class, I'm giving you a few suggestions, a few guidelines, a few knowledgeable tips, or whatever you call it. But you tell people, isn't it? So if you get staff to work for you, I don't think anybody would be a natural learner that they will learn on their own. There are things that you will have to come up and tell them. Done, everyone? I'll have to tell them things. Thank you, Nimesh sir. Everybody, whenever we are going through any specific details or something now, please go ahead and write your thoughts about it or your definitions or anything in the comment box. It is very important that you communicate with me, because the more we communicate in the particular class, the more doubts you ask, it becomes easier for me to teach you. And it doesn't matter how different your question would be. Yes, this is the first chapter. Okay, now comes directing. How do we define the term directing, everyone? Directing is communicating with people. I'll be telling them what to do, what not to do. Then I'll be motivating them. I'll be making them sane at times. You supervise people because you want to know how do they work. Then you guide them. That is, you become the leader. Then you motivate them as well, and you have to communicate with them whenever they are falling apart. Then this is the thing. This is called essence of management. Earlier it was a part of functions. Now it's essence. That is called coordinating. What do you mean by coordination, everyone? Yeah, allocation of work is done in the organizing itself, sir. Allocation of work, reporting authority, who would be reporting to whom, then what are the various departments, it's all a part of organizing. And when we talk about staffing, staffing is basically putting people to work. Then when we talk about directing, directing is to become the leader and then tell them what to do. Coordinating is coming in sync. This synchronization of the people ultimately. Because if I am doing the task first, and then I'll have to communicate that I am done with this task, kindly take over for the next. Then the other person will take over for the next. That is called coordinating. And the last thing is controlling. Sometimes what will happen is you plan something. There's a plan. And then with that particular plan, what will you try to do? If in case you are deviating from the plan, you will have to make sure that the particular plan is still continued, that the particular plan is still working. In case there is any deviation, we will correct it. That part is called controlling. So this is the management process altogether. If you take about the sequence that we are taking currently, they just remove the area of coordinating. Rest everything is still there. Done, everyone? Any doubts in this area? Okay. Now switching over, just a moment. Now is this visible clearly? Now comes this definition is something that we have done already. The term management can be defined in various ways. Now let's talk about a few people who really became the important people. That is why this is taken from the book itself. Most of the things, and Acha, you don't need to buy the IBF book. If you want to, then it would be your call. That if you feel like going through the book as well, then it is your call. Otherwise, we are providing everything on that is there in my notes. The quick notes, the details, the MCQs, everything covers the IBF book. I did not follow any other book. I purely follow the IBF book because in the examination they ask questions only from the IBF book. Right? MCQs and everything is ultimately made from this book itself. So you should go through the book properly. Then to make sure that ultimately the book is of around 610 pages, it's way too big. So what are we doing with what you can? So I'm not fluctuating the screen. Is there any fluctuations in the screen right now? Everybody else? Sir, then probably it might be because of some internet issues. Please re-log in. Sir, then please increase the there's in the setting area now. Please go into the area of settings and then increase the video quality. Okay. Now, thank you so much, everyone. Among the people who have been very important for management were Peter Drucker. He's a famous management guru. He had written a lot about management. He's actually called the guru because I think if I talk about most of the management books has his name there. Then the next one that comes here is Frederick Winslow Taylor. He's also a very important person. During industrialization, he gave a lot of theories where people could actually understand that how productivity was important. But there was only one problem. According to him, humans and machines work in the same manner. This was the only problem that I think there are so many authors they have given it, but I could get only one problem there. His work, his learnings were phenomenal. Scientific way of understanding. The management was there. But there was only one problem. According to him, the person should have the same productivity every single day, which is definitely not possible because I believe every human out there, we feel good about a few things, we feel bad about a few things. We get tired, we get frustrated, we get emotionally tired, we get emotionally frustrated, we will get work frustration is also there. A particular person cannot have the same productivity. We get sick as well. We have our families, we have family priorities. So ultimately, there are so many things. So we cannot expect a particular person to be consistent every now and then. So that is one of the basic problems. But yes, he had given a lot in terms of the industrialization. That is why productivity became a very important element in the employment area. So this is the person. The Taylor. Taylor is actually known as the father of scientific management. Please note this down. Peter Drucker is known as the management guru, and F.W. Taylor, Frederick Winslow Taylor, is called father of scientific management. Oh, just a moment. Visible now? He is known as the father of scientific management. Done? Okay. So this is the management process that we are done. This is the actual management process which is followed now. While coordinating is the essence of management. Please note these points down, everyone. And once you're done, please confirm. It starts from planning, then second is organizing, third is staffing, fourth is directing, and fifth is controlling. I think I'll just change the picture, then it becomes easier for you. Acha, one more way of learning it. Initially, when the term management came, this is something that it has been taken from a Greek word. If you go through the Greek word, even on Google you will find multiple things. A few called it that has been taken from the Greek word nomos. But if you go into the detail of management, now you will find the term management is taken from a Greek word oikonomos, where oiko means household and nomos means management. So the management that we study today is based upon only one thing. That is, it started from the household. I think you must have seen your mother, your wives, your sisters, everybody else, and there are so many people who are doing their work on their own as well. We have our defined places. This particular pen tab stays at a particular place. I have my own workstation, and this defined that I'll keep everything here itself. We do not move it here and there. That means, what am I doing? I'm also managing my equipment. I'm managing my time. I have to keep a particular class at any point of time. Then I have to arrange the resources as well. That means I'm managing one more thing. So it all started with the basic household management, which led to the ultimate area of management is of business, and then ultimately this particular term came out. This particular term or the process has been started on this basis, but later on there have been so many authors. So first of all, it was given as POSDC. This was P for planning, O for organizing, S for staffing, D for directing. This C earlier was coordinating, but ultimately it was decided that no, the term should be controlling. That is why you will find the word CO here. But in now it is controlling for you. And then there were a few people called Gulick and Urvik. These two people were responsible for the last two terms, though these last two terms do not exist anymore because these terms were given. But this turned out to be one of the most famous definitions, that is called post call: planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling, reporting, and budgeting. But as per when the old definition was there, this was planning, organizing, staffing, directing, coordinating, reporting, and budgeting. So the best way to learn it is post call. Kindly note it down, everyone. Note it down, everyone. Please confirm once you have noted. Let's move on then. The first among them is called planning. How do we define planning? Planning is a futuristic way of working. So planning involves taking a call on future and deciding about it in line with the objective of the organization. You set up the objective of the organization first and then plan is made accordingly. Acha, planning and forecasting. With this, I have a doubt. Planning and forecasting. Planning and forecasting. Are these terms absolutely same or are they different? They are related, but are they same? Forecasting is, yes, sir, that's correct. Forecasting is just anticipating the future. But, acha, I just look outside and I see what is the weather today. Acha, what is going to be the weather tomorrow? That is forecasting. Based upon this weather, if I say if it's going to rain, then it's better that I open up my raincoat business. That is planning. Done? That's correct, Melissa. Now, the planning is all about whatever you have, you make something good out of it. That brainstorming session that we keep, that involves setting up of the goals, it involves determination of the objectives of the organization and selecting the future course of action. So what I'll do is during planning now, I will look at different courses of action. Number one, number two, number three, number four. Then I will rule out a few and choose only one. That would become the one. That is called planning, everyone. When you plan, you decide in advance about what needs to be done, when and where it needs to be done. Right? You will do all that part. I would always say planning belongs to the WH family. What to be, what to do, why to do, when to do, right? By whom it would be done. And that is how to do. This is how we define the term planning, everyone. Planning helps the managers to manage the changes. Yes, so I think once we start with the planning process now, at that point of time, we do the environment scanning as well as the forecasting. First of all, we'll have to sit with the particular purpose that we want to understand what can be done in the future for this organization. Now comes the area of organizing. Organizing is basically another important function performed by the management of an organization. It deals with organizational structuring and arranging the resources of the organization. In terms of organization, what are we doing? Organization is a function in which we are defining the organization structure. Structure here simply means that we will define number one, number two, number three, number four, all these things. Now, whosoever will be at the top and who's going to be under him, the reporting relationships. We will define the reporting relationships. But we are not putting people to work. We are just creating vacancies right now. When we start a business, we will prepare the entire hierarchy of people who would be there. That is in terms of organizing. We will arrange the required resources for the same. We will put a particular shape to the organization. This is the skull of the organization. Ultimately, the skeleton through which the ultimate work starts. Right? In this area, we are dividing the work. Similar and dissimilar work would be done properly. Allocation of responsibility and authority, as well as the task of coordination. Done, everyone? That is organizing. Done? You can note down that organizing is about division of work, allocation of responsibility and authority. This area is the crux of organizing. This is the crux of organizing. Done? Now let's move on. Okay. After organizing comes, what is it that it involves? Number one is task management. What is to be done? Who will do it? How the grouping shall be done? Now this is going into the detail. I just said that I think we should keep an objective. I just said that this is how we can look forward to it. But the detailing is done in organizing. The reporting structure will be made here only. Decision making, who shall make the decisions, at what level decisions shall be made, everything shall be done. That is a part of organizing. Done? Now after organizing, the next part that comes is staffing. See, now I have created vacancies. This is where I can put people. Once we have created the vacancies, what would be the next thing that we will be doing? After creating the vacancies, the next thing that we'll be doing is we will be putting staff to it. Successful organization needs staff, human capital to work. Earlier, human were not treated as something which was very important, but then over the period of time, they understood that humans play a very important role. So when we talk about the humans, there's a particular line. I think. Okay, you would have heard about Mr. Narayan Murthy. Mr. Narayan Murthy and Mrs. Sudha Krishnamurthy. They are the founders of Infosys. There's a particular famous quote by Narayan Murthy which has been stated even in the CBSE books itself. They stated that every evening your resource walks out of your organization. You have to make sure it comes back. Now, in this area, they were agreeing that human is also a very important resource. It's an asset. In actually use the term asset. Your asset walks out of the organization. People who are trained in the organization are leaving the organization. Once they are leaving the organization, you will have to ask them to come back to you. How do you keep them coming back? By providing them proper salary, by providing them good work environment. Work culture plays an important role, right? Done? So staffing is can be referred to as the people who are working with us, right? So the major staffing activities includes, okay, when we are putting staff, I think when many of you went into the bank, there was a specific process, that is recruitment. You saw the vacancies of the bank, then selection. You went through the testing of that bank, then training. You had undergone some. Sir, I was just talking about staffing only. Which part did you miss? Can you please explain that part? I'll just let you know about the same. Otherwise, I'll repeat the entire process again. Now, in terms of staffing, what we do is staffing is basically first is recruitment. You give the particular vacancy related issue to the people there. Acha, Ashish sir, Mr. Narayan Murthy had said that every evening your asset walks out of the organization. You have to make sure that it comes back in the morning. So every evening people leave the organization, but if they are annoyed with the organization, there would be a particular day he will not turn up. He will say, I'm resigning today. Right?